Oh, welcome to Alchemy again. I'm so glad you're here with me once a week. Kyle is just making me laugh, and laughter is good. So, um, yeah, it's good. Tonight's class, we're going to do quite a bit on our hips and from our knees and stuff. So, if you need extra cushioning, a blanket, or something, you can grab that now. And maybe that thick book, you can use that as a block tonight. Or if you've got a pot, you can use that as your block. Just whatever you need. And we'll go back to the mat, settle in, close the door, dim the lights, whatever you need to do. This is your time. We're going to start seated. We're going to cross our legs in the uncomfortable way. Nope, that's that way. Okay. And take your palms towards the ceiling, and I invite you to close down your eyes or take a soft gaze to the floor in front of you. And just give or receive the energy you need from the practice tonight. Maybe send it to someone who's a bit confused or lost or lonely or in pain. Take some nice big inhales through the nose, and you can sigh them out. You can draw the shoulders up to the ears. Set your quiet intention. Take a few more breaths. And softly blink open those eyes. So before we get moving and then not moving, take a little scan through your body and see where you're holding tension. Most of us hold in the hips, right? So that's why tonight's class we're going to work on the hips. We were hopeful that maybe we could get out and be normal again, but then I don't know what new normal is going to be like. So I feel tense. I feel worried. I feel I'm being judged constantly. So let's just set that all aside, let it go. Just like comments and people that are not supporting us, and we can support others. So yeah. All right. Scan through the body, top to bottom. Yin yoga is where you go to that first sensation, or about 75% of your full stretch. All right. So let's take that nice big inhale. Reach the hands overhead. Fill up the body with breath. Smile big. And as we exhale, we're just going to turn to the left here. Sit up nice and tall. And take a soft gaze over that left shoulder. Rooting down into the sit bones. Breathing full body breath. And we'll make our way back to center. Reach up, look up. And as we exhale, over to the other side. Sit up nice and tall. And we'll come on back to center. Bring the hands to the heart. Lovely. Okay, we're going to warm up the neck a little bit too. So we'll take the left ear to the left shoulder. Walk the right fingertips out to the side, tip the chin towards the ceiling. Big breath in, and as you exhale, start to roll down towards your chest. Over to the other side. And if it's pinchy, just hang out there and take it back if that's okay. And slowly bring yourself back to center. We'll do that on the other side as well. So right ear to right shoulder, left fingertips out to the side. Tip the chin up to the ceiling, ground down into both sit bones. Big breath in, and as you exhale, start to roll down. Nice. Come on back to center. All right. What else do we have? One more thing I do want to do. I know I have a home office right now, and it's just my dining room table. So it's not ergonomically set up. So I find my mouse and my keyboard is a little bit off from where I usually have it. Let's just roll forward. And let's do a little bit of wrist exercise. So we're going to start with the hands forward. Knees are about hip width apart. And you're just going to sit back, rotate the elbows forward. Come and take a couple breaths, and then we'll come back up. We're going to point the fingers towards each other. Maybe walk the knees a little closer and sit back. Try pressing the heel of the hand into the mat, into the floor. And then coming back. We're going to walk the hands. Actually, let's do it this way. Push the wrists forward. That was weird. Push the wrists towards the front and fingertips towards the body. And see if you can sit back a little bit. You may need to bend the elbows. Just breaking up the carpals in the wrist, right? A little different. Okay. And now we're going to point the fingertips, turn the back of the hands down. Point the fingertips towards you. Same thing, bend at the elbows a little bit. And come back up and rotate them out. Bend at the elbows as you sit back. Nice. Come on up. Shake it out. Do some wrist circles. And we'll make our way onto our hands and knees. So I've doubled my mats here, so I've got a bit of cushioning. And we're going to warm up our spine a little bit. Trying to keep the muscles pretty relaxed, so we're not going to go fast. We're just going to go with our breath. And as we inhale, roll the belly down, roll the chest forward, stick that tailbone high. And as you exhale, roll vertebrae by vertebrae down. Gaze at the thighs. Inhale, rolling up. Smile bright through the heart, through the chest. And exhale, roll down. Inhale, come on up. 2 more times at your own pace. If at any time you're feeling unwell or uneasy, you can always take a child's pose, hit pause, go get a drink of water. Come on back when you're ready. Okay. Let's take the left hand, put it under the nose here, sweep the right hand up to the ceiling, follow it with your gaze, and bring it through. Thread the needle. Come onto the right shoulder and ear. Left hand will stay by your face for support, or maybe you take it up wherever you need to be. Or maybe it just sits in the back pocket here. One more full round of breath. And as we exhale, we're going to roll back. Inhale, come back to center. And this time we'll leave the right hand under the nose. Sweep the left hand up to the ceiling. Come through. Stick the tailbone high. Come onto the shoulder and ear. Right hand is staying here for support. Up to the ceiling or around. I think I just made that worse. All right, let's come on back to center. Okay, today we're going to start with frog pose, but I'd like you to start just the toes touching, knees come wide, and we're going to come on to the elbows. Draw the belly button up to the spine. We are not saggy. We are strong. Okay, and then we're just going to push back a little bit. So this might be enough for you. You might feel that first sensation. And that's where you need to hang out. If you're not feeling anything and you would like to go a little bit further, swing the toes wide, walk the knees out a little bit further, and now push back. There you go. Make sure it's a place where you can stay easily and comfortably. And you can always play with your edge too. So in Yin Yoga, we're working with our connective tissues. Connective tissues connect bones to bones, muscles to muscles, or muscles to bones. They're very important to keep manipulated, to keep lubricated, because over time they become fixated. It's like an Excel worksheet, or if you don't use it, you lose it. So a language, all those things. You definitely want to keep your joints lubricated, keep them strong. Yeah, give them lots of nutrition, hydration. And you'll feel better. I'm not sure if I have a little bit of arthritis coming in, but boy, oh boy, if I don't do yin or yoga anymore, I am very, very stiff. So it's good to keep this in your back pocket, whether you do 10 minutes in the morning or on your lunch break. Yoga is so important for mind clearing, just to balance yourself. When things aren't feeling good in your body, that affects your mind, and the things that come out of your head or your thoughts sometimes are not what you mean to come out. So try to balance yourself again. Whether it's, for me, because I'm a pitta person, which means a very busy, active person, I need yin yoga. I need to slow down, and I need to bring myself back. We're going to spend a couple more breaths here. Keep that belly button lifted. All right. Bring the toes back, bring the knees back, and we're going to slide the legs out. We're going to come right on to our nice little bellies. We're going to bend the knees. We can stack the hands and rest the forehead here. Bend the knees and just swing the heels side to side. Ideally together, but if they need to go apart, it's okay too. Let's bring the toes down. We'll have a nice little back bend here, our Spinks Pose. So I'm going to lift my butt up, and you'll notice that's the area you need to press into your mat. When we extend all the way here, press that pelvic area, the pubic bone down. As you inhale, draw the fingers and the elbows towards the body, listening. So if you feel that first sensation out here, please stay here. If it's here, you can stay here. Spread the fingertips wide and try not to drop into the shoulders. Lift the heart, lift yourself up. Okay? Or maybe you go back a little bit further and the elbows come right under the shoulders. We can take the kink out of the back of the neck by looking right down at our mat, pressing down. We can stay here for 5 breaths, and then maybe we open the throat for 5 breaths. The thyroid gland is in the throat chakra is in the throat, obviously. And those are all important. The thyroid gland is a very bossy gland. It will boss all the other glands around, and you want it to be happy. And then the throat chakra is, of course, where we have all the lines of communication. So let's take 5 breaths up now. Take your gaze to the ceiling. And we'll come back down for 5 breaths. And back up for 5 breaths. Last one. Nice. Okay, you can stay here. You can do the same thing, taking 5 breaths and looking down at your mat. Or maybe you'd like to press up into seal pose now. So you can do that with me now and straighten up the elbows. Again, we're not dropping into the shoulders. We're going to roll the shoulders back, telescope the ribs forward. And exhale wherever you're at. Super slow, come down to your mat. Bring the hands beside the face, bend the elbows, and draw the right knee towards the right elbow, left cheek on the floor. Gently lift yourself back up, slide the right leg down, and bring the left leg up. All right, let's bring ourselves back up. Walk the knees forward. Tuck the toes underneath. And bring the knees together. And we have connective tissue in our feet, so we're going to give them a little attention. So sitting back on the heels. If you're here tonight, that's okay. But eventually we'd like to come back to sitting on those heels. Sitting up tall and proud. And hopefully you're getting out and enjoying the sun this weekend. A little bit of sun, a little bit of cloud, a little bit of wind. It's Cochrane. And it's beautiful. Beautiful big mountains over in the west there. So you gotta love it here. Very grateful. It's such a good community. Yeah. All right, let's roll forward. Spread the fingertips wide. Tap the tops of the feet out. Push the sit bones back as we curl the toes under. Let's take a downward facing dog. Bring the heels down nice and slow. Pedal and sway through the hips. If the heels come down super easy, just slide the feet back a little bit. Your gaze is at your knees or your thighs. If your eyes are open. Fingertips are clawing into your mat there. And that makes a little cup in the palm of your hand. That also takes the pressure off the wrists. All right, we're going to lift the right leg. We don't have to lift it all the way up, just enough to bend it and bring the foot forward. If it doesn't come all the way, help it along. There we go. We're going to come into the first part of the dragon series. So this is our low lunge. Okay, so you can stay here if you like, or you can come up and rest your hands on your knee. We're going to think about pushing the left hip forward. And we'll spend six breaths here. I was going to say 6 dragons here. Wouldn't it be fun to have a dragon? Mm-hmm. Okay, and our knee should be nicely over the ankle there. If you find you're drifting over the toes, walk the toes out a little bit further, push in a little bit more, and make that lovely space in the hips. So you're kind of squeezing on the right side and opening way up on the left side. That's the psoas muscle. Okay. So we're not really working with the muscles, but underneath them is the connective tissue. So of course there's connective tissue to the psoas muscle, to the bones, to the joints. So we need to keep the muscles soft so we can get underneath there. All right, so we're going to come down. We're going to turn the toes out to the side. Now this is where you need your block or your big book. Or not, if you want to come all the way down to the mat and you've got that space in your body without going to the full extent of your stretch. Remember, we're going to spend about 6 or 7 breaths here. So I'm going to come down onto the elbows. And I'm going to hang out here. So tonight's class also works on the energy lines, the bladder meridians, and that will hopefully help bring us back into balance. The gallbladder and the urinary bladder like lots of hip manipulation. And it also activates the kidneys and the liver, which the liver in turn activates the digestive system. So lots of things going on. And then hopefully we're releasing some tension in the hips as well. Okay. So that's our 6 breaths there. We're going to set that block aside. Bring the left hand a little closer. And you can leave the right hand on the right knee and just turn towards the ceiling. Or maybe you open up here a little bit more. Take the right hand up to the ceiling as well as your gaze. And rolling back down. Bring your hands in, slide that leg back, tuck the toes. We're going to press back into the downward facing dog. Pedal and sway through the hips. You can take the leg up, bend the knee, wiggle it around, extend, push the heel out, or maybe open up. Yeah, just looking for a little bit of relief. All right, let's go to the other side here. Left leg up, bend the knee, step it forward, come on down, and we'll start with the low lunge on the left side. So let's rock forward. Nice, there we go. We had a family group chat, just FaceTime. There's other ones like Zoom and stuff. And oh my gosh, it was very silly and very loud, but lots of laughter. So it was filling, as my sister-in-law said, filling her heart with joy. So if you haven't tried it, definitely try it. Connect with friends or families. Maybe someone overseas. Could be right in town. I think the hardest thing for me is not seeing your faces. I'm forgetting what everybody looks like, which is super hard for me. One more nice big inhale. And exhale. Let's bring the hands down. Walk the toes out to the side. And we'll bring our block in. Kind of in line with your heel there. And you can stay up here if that's more comfortable for you. Or come on down to the elbows. Or go all the way down to your mat. And then coming up, setting the block aside, right hand comes down, and we're just going to roll the shoulders to the side. Left hand can stay on the knee, and you can gaze up to the ceiling from here, or if you want, you can take the hand up. Whatever you did on the other side, try and do on the next side. and back down. Walk the toes back to center, and I know we didn't do this on the other side, but we'll make up for it. We're going to rock back onto the heel and just take a little hurdler stretch, or kind of like a half split. You can rock back and forth. Plant the hands, tuck the back toes, lift the hips, step it back, wiggle it out. Let's take that left leg up, find some movement, find it open. We'll bring that down. Let's bring the right one forward again. And we'll just rock back and forth here. Yeah. And back. All right. Let's take the hands to one side or the other. Swing the legs out in front. We're going to come into Baddha Konasana. So butterfly pose, bringing the soles of the feet together. So if you need to sit on a block or a folded blanket, just to bring the hips up a little higher, it's nice. But you can start with the soles of your feet together, drawing them in wherever you need to feel something. So if they're closer to the body, you're going to feel something on the outside, okay? If you bring them towards or away from you in more of a diamond shape, you're going to feel more on the inner thighs, okay? I'm going to go with diamond shape right now, okay? So I'm going to sit up nice and tall. I'm going to take that nice big breath in. And as I exhale, I'm going to lead with the heart and come forward, just resting my elbows on my knees. And this is where we'll hang out. We're just going to take our gaze down to our toes. And we'll spend about 3 minutes here. Trying to keep the spine nice and straight. If you need to round, that's okay, but then come back and push the chest forward. Look at the toes. Imagine the breath like a wave coming into your body, filling you up. You know, take that little pause at the top, and as you exhale, you find a little bit more space and fold forward. Just a couple more breaths. And slowly coming up. Guide your hands to your knees and bring them back together. Okay. We're going to tuck the hands behind the knees, humble the chin towards the chest as we roll down nice and slow to your mat. You can take the feet to the edge of the mat and let the knees fall together. Leave the palms towards the ceiling and just roll into some windshield wipers side to side. If you need to stay on one side a little bit longer, please do so. Wonderful. Okay. Oops, there it goes. We're going to lengthen all the way back out. Find a nice big inhale, point and flex those toes. And another nice big inhale. Let's take the upper body and inch it over to the right side and sweep the right leg out. And then we're going to bring the left leg nicely over. So we're making a C shape or banana shape with our body. Banana asana. So if you find your shoulders floating, take that book and place it underneath your hands, taking the pressure off the shoulder, because the shoulder muscles will engage to try and keep you in the pose. And we kind of want to keep them soft. It's a nice way to lengthen out the side body and the side of the hips here. Just drifting away, letting the thoughts go. Let's take 3 more breaths on this side. If you've got a little bit more space, maybe you cross the left ankle on top there. You can always find something deeper or less, whatever you need at this time. All right, unwind. Bring yourself slowly back to center. Take a nice big breath, point and flex the toes, and as you exhale, let's bring those knees in for a nice juicy squeeze. And then we'll lengthen all the way back out again. point and flex through the toes. And as we exhale, we're going to slide the upper body over to the left side. And the left heel will go out to the side, maybe 2 to 3 feet. And then we'll join the right one. Spending 6 more breaths, or about a minute here. So again, if you've got that extra space, stuff's happening, releasing, you can cross the right ankle over the left now. Now we'll slowly uncross, slide back to center. Nice big stretch. And as we exhale, bring the knees in. Nice juicy squeeze. Rolling side to side. And maybe we take the knees out a little bit, place the hands on the knees, and find some circles to the right. And maybe some circles to the left. Just massaging the low back, the last of the lumbars and the discs down there. Let's bring the feet down. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. And bring the left knee up. See if you can reach for the shin. And just hang out here for a couple breaths. Let's make it 5, yeah. You can always give a little pressure to the right knee with your right elbow. Not too much, just a little bit. Maybe you got a chance to go for a bike ride today or a really long walk. And maybe you're feeling it in the legs and the glutes. So this will feel good. Let's release that side. We'll do that again on the other side. And release. From here, we're going to make our way into our happy baby. So knees will come up. Hands will reach for the inside or outside of the soles of the feet. And think about bringing the tailbone down. Down to the mat. Flatten your spine to the earth. Connecting and rooting down. Okay, so we're going to see if we can hang out here for a couple minutes. So if you can't reach your feet, maybe try bending the knees a little deeper or just hanging on to the shins. And if you have a strap or a tie or a towel, maybe you're hanging on to that. Okay. So this is what I like to call a reclined squat. Just a little different. Okay, let's take the hand to the inside of the left foot and extend the right leg down. So you can hang out here, leave the left leg bent, or if you'd like to extend it for 6 breaths. I like to place my left or my right hand on my hip. Not that it's doing anything, it's just there, pretending that it's holding it in place. Let's bring that back in. Place the right hand on the outside of the right knee. Left hand will go out to the side, and we're going to gently bring the left leg across the body. Okay, totally fine if it's floating in the air or if you have your book or block here. And try not to push it down. It's just hanging out on top. And you can take your gaze over to those left fingertips. So again, twists are really awesome for the spine, our digestive system, and then the liver and spleen meridians, energy centers. Just getting that flow going again through the body. When we're stuck, we're out of balance. Or we're out of balance, we're grumpy. Or I am, anyway. Or I'm tired, or I don't make good judgments. Make sure this knee is about 90 degrees. If it's lower, it's going to put a lot of pressure on the low back. So keeping it up a little higher is better for those who have disc issues. Or maybe they use a lot more props and supports here. And one more full inhale and exhale. Release the hand, roll back to center. Bring both knees in, nice big squeeze. Let's find our way back to that happy baby. Pressing the spine into the mat. And we'll bring the left leg down this time. Okay, so the right leg can stay bent here. Or if you'd like, you can join me and take it out to the side. Let's slowly bring that back in. Left hand on the outside of the right knee, right hand out to the side, and we'll gently pull the right leg across the body. And I said pull really slow because I think it's my right hip that's a little bit tight. I'm going to gaze over at those right fingertips. I'm not going to think about anything. Nothing. Just breathing. Just a couple more breaths. Bring your head back to center. Bringing both knees in for a hug. Okay, we're going to roll onto the side. We're going to get one more little pose here. And we're going to do cat pulling tail. Again, it's a twist. So if you're not feeling like doing another twist, find your way into a pose that you would like to do. Or you can make your way into Shavasana already and just take your time there, enjoy. So it's my top leg, it's going to come out in front. Okay, and I'm going to reach for the bottom toes. Okay, and I'm just going to reach here. So this is a little bit different version of our twist. And I can feel it in different places. See if you can too. Okay, if you want a little bit more so you're not at that first sensation or your edge, come on down and roll that top shoulder open. And we'll hang out here for a couple minutes. And this is just adding in the upper back for a twist as well. Bringing out all that stale air, stale energy, and welcoming positive thoughts, positive energy when we come out. One more inhale and exhale. Slowly release the back foot. Roll back to center. And if you want to roll onto the other side, I'm just going to swing around here. Okay, stacking the hips. And we'll bring the right leg forward this time. And we're going to reach for the left toes. So again, you can hang out here quite easily. If your book or block is handy, you can hang out here. Yep. And then again, if you want a little bit more, adding the upper torso in, we can roll back and take the chest open, right shoulder dropping towards the floor. And one more full inhalation. And exhale. Rolling back to center. All right. Get nice and cozy. Put your socks on. Put a blanket over the belly or all the way up. Maybe you have a rolled towel or some extra rolled blankets, and they can go under your knees if you don't have yoga props. Make your way into your final resting pose, the most important pose to reap the benefits of your yin practice today. Again, palms towards the ceiling, shoulders underneath. Settling in and drift away, slowly letting the spine relax to the mat, softening all the way through. And here you can scan through the body again and noticing anything different. I'll call you back in a couple minutes. Or if you have to tune out, I'll see you again next week. Make sure you take the time to rest. You can stay here for a little bit longer if you like. I'm going to come up and say my farewells to you. So I'm going to come back to seated. You can join me if you like. Sitting cross-legged one more time. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. It means a lot to me. And thanks for your support. Let's bring our hands together, fingertips to touch, thumbs to the heart. Om Shanti Shanti. Namaste.